Enough of it, I tell you. Enough! Enough!
Kate!
Enough!
Look at me, Kate. Look at me.
Charles!
You've become so agitated, you make no sense.
Mr. Anderson!
Speak slowly.
You see, Mr. Anderson!
Yes?
Mr. Anderson!
What about Mr. Anderson?
Ooh, Mr. Anderson wishes. No, Mr. Anderson insists.
My life, please be calm.
Mr. Anderson demands.
Herring, oysters, Yorkshire pudding, must I guess?
His bath!
I see. He demands his bath.
At once! Immediately!
Very well.
'Tis not well, Charles. 'Tis not very well told. 'Tis not at all
Kate.
well. The household, Charles, my own, it runs itself according to a system. Everything is done in its proper order. He's been here a month. He should know by now how the house runs.
You must explain, my precious, to Mr. Anderson that you run your household in an orderly fashion.
You're a genius. You explain it to Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson is our guest, my angel.
He's a genius. He'll understand you.
I know Mr. Anderson can be somewhat difficult.
Difficult would be bearable.
Formidable.
Oh, formidable would be a joy.
Intractable, then.
Obstinate, perverse.
Come, my love, I think you're being too hard on the man when you call him perverse.
Stubborn, obdurate, petulant, cross, ill-tempered, repressive. Do any of those suit you?
I might take exception to repressive.
More accurate than intractable.
I prefer curmudgeon.
Go upstairs and tell the curmudgeon that this house does not turn topsy-turvy any longer upon his command. Explain that we are under new management, Mrs. Dickens' rule.
His English is limited.
He understands, no.
Oh, Kate, my precious, do be patient with him. He's a stranger in our country, bewildered by our customs, struggling with our language.
We serve him breakfast when it should be nuncheon. We serve him tea when it's time for supper. We send out for fresh herring at his command, or we boil an egg to his specifications, or we roast mutton to the temperature that he requires. Dishes up with that mint sauce that he has become addicted to. We have accommodated this gentleman for over a month. We have danced to his every tune. We have been at his beck and call. We will kowtow. No longer, you may tell him so.
He will be leaving us soon.
He will never leave. We've spoiled him rotten. He would be a fool to leave. He's perfectly comfortable in the front bedroom, having his bath drawn at all hours, and eating herring and eating sauce, and swilling that God knows whatever. I don't know.
Schnapps, Kate. He is scheduled to travel on to Italy. He will leave us at the end of the month.
You said that last month.
He must seek the warmer climes for his health.
Then pray, enlighten me as to why he stays, all the while complaining about our English climate.
I suggested Tuscany, but he feels that until his cough improves...
There is nothing wrong with his health, Charles. Cough indeed. He is simply bad-tempered and demanding and spoiled and arrogant, and he has become a plague in this house.
Precious one, he is the most important writer in Europe.
You are.
My adorable darling, my meeting with Anderson has been an experience.
A tremendous nuisance and a complete waste of time. He has no respect for your work, nor is he interested in anything that you write. You address matters of social importance, while he only wants to trot out stories about mermaids and matchgirls and little women and inchworms.
On the contrary, our meeting has brought about a feeling of mutual...
contempt, despair, hostility, hysteria.
I would rather say...
melancholia, resentment, fury.
I think resentment covers it.
Oh, there. You see.
You're right, my dear. I can't argue with you.
Oh, you always condescend to me, Charles.
I never condescend to you, my life. That's grossly unfair of you.
You always tell me I'm your little woman and I should not worry my pretty little head, etc., etc., etc. And you see, I am right. The man is evil and pernicious, and a terrible example to the children of how a house guest should behave themselves.
You can be excused for being a bit harsh, Kate.
You have yet to see how harsh that I can be. Make him go, Charles. Turn him out of the house. If he is such a continental treasure, then he can go reside at Lord Tennyson's home, or Mr. Trollope's, or Thackeray, or Mr. Collins. Let Leigh Hunt draw him a bath, if you please.
Kate, we can't turn Hans Christian Andersen out of our home.
Maybe you can't.
I have never seen you in such a taking.
Will you send him packing, or will I?
Andersen, my dear fellow.
You speak of Tennyson?
Put that thing down, darling, before you hurt someone with it.
Why am I not meeting this Tennyson since I come here?
Oh, the man's completely mad most of the time, immersed in Arthurian poetry and cavalry charges, and you'd hate him.
Send this Tennyson to me.
One does not summon Tennyson, old boy.
What is this son?
Summon is what you are especially adept at.
Tennyson is a peer of the realm, you see.
He come at once when he know he can meet Hans Andersen. What rank is he?
I really have no idea. Baron, I should think. Poet laureate as well. I doubt you'd get on.
My bath is so ready.
I know my wife has ordered it drawn.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Anderson, but did I hear a crash a moment ago?
Have you not ordered Mr. Anderson's bathwater, Kate?
I require hot. You order hot?
Scalding. Pray do not scruple to demand whatever you want.
The weather disgust. I keep to my bed all day.
Certainly, my dear fellow.
Is your Danish weather pleasant in November?
My coffee. Cold. My fire. Not laid. My bath. Not drawn. You English.
That bastard.
Oh, I'm sure you mean curmudgeon, my heart.
Expecting Lord Tennyson to drop everything and come when he whistles.
Turn him out, Charles, or I will take the children and I will go.
Yes, I quite agree. He has overstayed his welcome. Meanwhile, draw the damn bath. I will think of something.
Scorching hot.
Ice cold, I should think.
Oh, you English.
Barbaric, what? God, one more interruption. I've got to get out of this house and clear my brain. Oh, my dear fellow, you look quite restored.
I would like so much you to take me to debtor prison.
I rather understood you'd ordered a hot bath and intended keeping to your bed all day.
We go now, at once. Get something to wear warm. Now, I would like to go to debtor prison.
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Kate, darling, mind yourself.
Oh, the post has come, Charles. Your bath is drawn, Mr. Anderson.
As your little Dorrit live in the prison, I wish to see how the prison. Oh, this is a masterpiece, this little Dorrit in Lille Ogso. You write others, not so fine. Not so matter, not so smart, silly story. But this only book is, how you call this, my want to write so fine as you. Me want to write so got as you in Little Dorrit. How is this called?
Envy.
You wish to visit the marshal, say?
Your bath is cooling.
No bath now. Take this bath away. I am ready to go to prison.
Oh, as you wish, sir. You may, of course, order another bath at any hour.
We start to see Tennyson.
Best to send a note fast. He might be in his bath.
Oh, look there. Is that not the Brownings talking to Mr. Swinburne? Oh, there they go, into the park.
This is the poet Browning?
Oh, you can catch them if you hurry, Mr. Anderson. Oh, quick, lock all the doors. We can throw his luggage out into the street.
Brownings are in Italy, you scamp.
And so should he be. I am determined to rid this house of that man.
Well, he's met with someone out there.
Oh, can it really be Mr. Swinburne? I made that up.
Doesn't look like Swinburne.
Oh, it's Lewis Carroll.
Well, they should have a lot to say to each other.
Oh, he's coming back across the street. Shall I lock him out? Oh, please say yes, Charles.
This man, you see him, is such a fellow. You call a fellow who has bad manners?
I believe he is a celebrated writer of children's work.
No, that's me. I am celibate, not him.
I had no idea.
I say, where is Swinburne? He say, who? I say, where is Browning? He say, who? I say, I am Hans Christian Andersen.
We say who?
I believe the Brownings are setting out for the warm and healthy Italian climes. Perhaps you can meet them there, if you hurry.
Now we make our trip to the jail. Put down, read later. Not important.
Just peruse these few letters. It won't be a moment.
I am put on my coat so we can leave the moment. Come, call carriage now.
Oh, dear God in heaven!
Charles, whatever is wrong? Oh, Charles, you've gone chalk white.
Not acceptable to me now this read letter. So we go now to prison.
Oh, Kate, my darling, I'm abject. Do forgive me.
We're not being turned out of the house, so please tell me we're not being turned out.
It's Hugo. Damn, he arrives this very afternoon, retinue and all.
You said nothing about a visit from
I don't know what I can say in my own defense. Hugo's visit quite slipped my mind. Hans Andersen's stay with us has been so stimulating and amusing that time has quite flown, and suddenly we're a month along, and here...
A guest you expect?
Victor Hugo, over from France, entourage accompanying, mounds of luggage. Oh, where will we put everyone?
I cannot share my bed.
Oh, Kate, we must put our heads together at once.
Oh, how long is Mr. Hugo staying?
Well, he informs me that he will be in England for 3 months, during which time he will come and go between short visits to, let me see, Stonehenge, Hadrian's Wall, Chester, Liverpool, certain unpronounceable places in Wales, Edinburgh to move in with Sir Walter for a time, and then back to us. Meanwhile, he is... Oh, Kate, sit down for this.
Sit down for what? I will not sit down.
He's bringing along Adele, and she will remain with us while he travels to and fro.
Oh, but she's so sweet.
Yes, indeed, she is, but Mr. Andersen will pitch in like the fine sport that he is.
Oh, she is stark raving mad, Charles.
Mad?
As a hatter, bless her heart.
Oh, no, this cannot happen. A mad woman to stay here? No, this is not what is to me for health.
I'm afraid we're expecting them within 2 hours or less.
Oh, what is he thinking, bringing that poor bewildered young woman to England?
Do lock up the knives, my darling, and remind the servants and the children that she should not handle glassware or crockery without strict supervision. You do remember that awful incident with the tureen? Oh, well, let's not dwell on that morbid misadventure we witnessed in Paris when we saw them at Christmas.
At Christmas?
Surely you remember last Christmas in Paris with the Hugos, darling? The tureen, Adele.
Oh, of course, Christmas. Oh, what a nightmare it was. The tureen. I'll see to everything at once. We could put Adele in the room adjoining Mr. Andersen.
Excellent, because when she sleepwalks...
There's less chance of her doing herself harm. Oh, Mr. Andersen has such a way with the young.
Oh, you won't mind it, Andersen. She's a pretty little child with just a few quirks. I'm patterning Dawsey Nadgett after her.
Dawsey Nadgett.
My little heroine, darling. Poor, sweet Dawsey, who loses her wits when she is forced to draw endless baths and serve endless plates of mutton and mint sauce to the dreadful Lord Barbarous Sponge.
Oh, Dawsey Nadgett. Oh, I hadn't realized you were drawing from life in writing her.
I only hope Adele's father doesn't recognize his daughter in my...
This is not acceptable, as we see. No. This cannot happen.
I'm using the incident where the poor child's shattered wits cause her to attack the gentle and kindly singer of ballads by overturning the soup tureen filled with scalding
They can stay otherwhere, not so in this house. No, not possible. No.
I know you will rise to the occasion, Andersen.
Oh, Mr. Andersen, I speak as a woman, as a mother, when I offer my deepest thanks to you for accommodating these French people, and with such a terrible inconvenience to yourself.
Without even a murmur of protest. Anderson, you are a brick.
I do not want to live by French people.
Well, one has to make an effort. After all, they can't help being French.
This is not for me acceptable. I go. Find me hotel.
No, I won't hear of your leaving.
Oh, we will manage somehow, Mr. Anderson. I know it's troublesome with dozens of people underfoot.
All babbling in French.
And so inopportune, as you settled in for a lengthy stay, and so comfortable.
I take your carriage and go.
This whole thing is a bit of a ruckus, I know, but we'll muck through it.
Oh, can't we persuade you?
I am not like to have such noise in the house.
Noise? Why, Kate and I have 9 children. We take no notice of noise. You seem to enjoy our children's play.
I should
enough.
like at the best hotel to stay. Make these arrangements now.
You will enjoy very much the boisterous and lively and wildly effusive retinue so shortly to descend upon us. They're rather like Hungarians. Would you agree, Kate?
Oh, do not desert us, Mr. Anderson. The wonderful chatter and Gallic humour are so contagious. I dare say every one of us will be throwing ourselves about the house in abandon in no time.
And little Adele, well, she mostly wanders about the house in kind of a trance.
Oh, you hardly noticed her.
Now and then, of course, she does imagine herself to be Marie Antoinette.
Which is why we put away the sharp objects.
Or Cleopatra.
Oh, I do hope she forgets to bring along her pet.
Or Messalina. One doesn't mind that one quite so much.
Oh, do make up one of our party, Mr. Anderson. We'll show those French what great fun the Danish can be.
What hotel will I like?
The Savoy.
I am to pack now. Send me servant to assist, your coach to wait for me. But Victor Hugo, this is a great man.
Oh, he's not so great as all that.
Oh, bit of a bore, actually. Always on about barricades and sanctuaries and revolutions.
He should meet me.
How's this for an idea? I see how terribly unfair it is of us to inflict this whole business upon you. It's my fault. I'd forgotten all about it. Say I bring Hugo around to the Savoy for coffee.
He will wish me to read from my work.
I believe he would be enchanted. What say you, Kate?
Well, I'm sure he would, and he will likely wish to read from his works, too.
I am not French speaker.
Nobody speaks French, but perhaps he will condescend in English.
You will bring him to me at hotel.
With pleasure.
Always assuming Mr. Hugo is agreeable. He can be very...
Disagreeable.
He's a bit of a curmudgeon, just to be charitable.
I am to pack.
Charles!
Wait, has he gone up?
Yes, in something of a hurry. Tell me, this was all a hoax.
You played your part admirably, my darling.
No, Victor Hugo.
No, Victor Hugo.
Oh, what is that letter then?
A bill from your dressmaker, Kate. Such expense.
How well you like me turned out.
And that I do.
It cannot be done without a little expense.
Curmudgeon, indeed. Hugo is a delightful chap. I would relish a visit from him.
But not with Adele in tow.
She's a sweet little thing, poor child.
Dawsey Nadgett.
What do you think?
Charles, you are brilliant.
Servants carry down luggage. So, no coach waiting. Why this?
My dear Anderson, allow me to send for a cab.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson. Thank you so much for paying us this extended visit and for being so gracious about the Hugo business.
Madame, I am all a pleasure.
I've always said that about you. Anderson is all pleasure. I'll just see you out myself.
Lord Barbarous Sponge. Oh, he really should write about all of this.
Well, he signed this book of tales for the children. The book's in Danish, but it's a nice gesture.
Are we really rid of him?
Oh, come now, he's not such a bad sort, bit stuffy.
Oh, now you say that.
He's a pleasant enough fellow to spend an evening with, but not half a year.
Are you really writing about someone called Dawsey Nadgett?
I just might take a turn at it. Dawsey has distinct possibilities.
Well, she certainly performed a great service to us.
Darling, what was that dreadful noise from upstairs a while ago?
Turns out the girl, fainting, dropped all of the tea things.
Fainting, do you say?
Mr. Anderson, without his dressing gown, quite accidental, but turned the girl prematurely grey. I believe that I've earned a bath. Charles,
Darling?
who is Mark Twain?